Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and realizing that within the first few moments of your day, you hold the power to shape everything that follows, not just the next few hours, but the direction of your entire life. Most people rise each day without awareness, rushing, reacting, and letting circumstances control them. But what if you chose differently? What if you treated your mornings as sacred, as the gateway to transformation, as the place where destiny itself begins to take form? This speech is not about adding more to your already busy schedule. It is about shifting your perspective. It is about recognizing that the smallest adjustments in how you start your day can ripple outward, creating profound changes in how you think, feel, and act. From the way you spend the first hour, to how you guide your thoughts, to the energy you generate in your body, each decision becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of your future. Stay with me until the very end, because what you are about to hear is more than motivation. It is a blueprint for transformation. If you are willing to commit, even in small ways, the insights that follow can unlock clarity, strength, and purpose you may not have realized were waiting within you all along. Your destiny is not hidden in some distant place. It is being shaped every single morning. And today we will uncover how to claim it fully, one shift at a time. The power of the first hour is one of the most underestimated yet most life-altering principles when it comes to shaping destiny. The way you choose to engage with your first 60 minutes in the morning becomes the foundation upon which the rest of the day is built. Imagine starting the day with intention, clarity, and energy versus rushing, distracted, and reactive. You're active. The difference may appear small in a single day, but over weeks, months, and years, it creates a profound shift in your path. The first hour is not just a routine, it is the silent architect of your destiny. It determines whether you live by design or by default. When you wake up, your mind is fresh, uncluttered, and more receptive than at any other time. In that state, whatever you feed it, thoughts, emotions, or actions, becomes the seed for the day's outcome. If the first action is to scroll through notifications or worry about tasks ahead, the day often spirals into anxiety and distraction. But if the first action is mindful, whether it is breathwork, journaling, reading, or exercise, you anchor yourself in strength and clarity. The energy invested in the first hour does not just affect that moment, it multiplies, setting a vibration that follows you throughout the day. It is in this hour that you can choose alignment over chaos. A deliberate focus on gratitude, movement, or stillness allows you to gain control before external circumstances attempt to control you. The first hour teaches discipline because it requires choosing purpose over comfort. Rising early, resisting the urge to waste time, and dedicating yourself to practices that expand your body, mind, and spirit builds inner resilience. This resilience carries into challenges, conversations, and decisions later in the day, helping you respond with clarity rather than react with impulse. Over time, the consistency of how you treat this sacred hour begins to mold your identity. You no longer see mornings as random starts but as deliberate opportunities to craft your future. Greatness is not built in sudden bursts of effort. It is built in small, consistent rituals that compound into mastery. The first hour each day is the doorway to that mastery. It is the hour where you either invest in your destiny or give it away unconsciously. That is why the power of the first hour is far greater than a simple routine. It is the foundation upon which transformation and destiny itself are shaped. Mind over mood is the discipline of not allowing temporary emotions or external circumstances to dictate the course of your day. When the morning begins, your state of mind is like soft clay waiting to be shaped. If you allow moods such as laziness, doubt, or irritation to take control, they will harden into patterns that determine how you think, feel, and act throughout the day. On the other hand, if you consciously guide your mind, you build a strong foundation that transcends fleeting moods. The principle is simple yet profound. Moods are unstable, but the mind, when trained, can create stability and direction no matter what storms arise. Each morning presents a choice. You can either wake up and surrender to whatever mood you find yourself in, or you can take the lead and decide what mental state you want to carry forward. This is not about denying emotions, but about rising above them and choosing alignment with your higher purpose. For instance, even if you wake up tired, you can choose thoughts that remind you of your goals, your reasons for pushing forward, and the opportunities that lie ahead. By doing so, you prevent a passing mood from robbing you of an entire day's potential. Mind over mood also builds emotional resilience. Life is filled with uncertainties, and mornings often bring reminders of tasks, problems, or challenges waiting to be faced. Without conscious direction, these reminders create stress or anxiety that lingers. But when you take charge of your thoughts through affirmations, gratitude, or visualization, you transform the same situation into an opportunity to grow. Instead of being a victim of mood swings, you become the creator of your inner atmosphere, which influences everything you touch. This practice extends beyond the morning. It slowly becomes a way of living. You learn to notice moods without obeying them, to acknowledge emotions without letting them define you. The ability to lead with mind over mood turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones because it ensures that their actions are not dependent on how they feel in the moment, but on the vision they hold for their life. In the silence of the morning, when distractions are few, this principle is most powerful. By choosing to place mind above mood, you take command of your inner world, and when the inner world is aligned, the outer world follows in harmony. Alchemy. Physical energy creates mental clarity, and this truth becomes most evident in the morning hours. The body and mind are deeply interconnected, and the state of one inevitably affects the other. When the body is sluggish, tired, or stagnant, the mind mirrors that condition by becoming dull, unfocused, and easily distracted. However, when the body is awakened through movement, breath, and activity, the mind sharpens and becomes more alert, ready to handle challenges with focus and efficiency. Many people believe that clarity comes from thinking harder, but in reality, it often comes from moving better. The body is the gateway to activating the mind. In the first hours of the day, engaging in even simple forms of physical activity, stretching, walking, yoga, or a few minutes of exercise sends signals throughout the body that it is time to awaken and perform. Blood flow increases, oxygen reaches the brain, and hormones shift to support alertness and positivity. This process naturally eliminates grogginess and brings mental sharpness that no amount of passive thinking can provide. When the body moves, the mind clears. When the breath deepens, the thoughts slow down and organize themselves. It is in these moments that creativity, focus, and problem-solving abilities rise to the surface. The connection between physical energy and mental clarity also builds discipline. Committing to morning movement requires effort, but that effort strengthens willpower, which directly influences mental resilience. A person who conquers their body in the morning by pushing through discomfort gains confidence to conquer mental challenges throughout the day. It could be something as simple as drinking water upon waking, writing down intentions, stretching for a few minutes, or reading a few pages of an inspiring book. None of these actions alone will transform your life in a single day, but their compound effect over weeks and months will. What makes micro-commitments powerful is their sustainability. They are not overwhelming, and because they are small, they are easier to repeat. The real secret lies in consistency, not intensity. By showing up daily, even in small ways, you build momentum that becomes impossible to ignore. These micro-commitments also strengthen self-trust. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you send a signal to your subconscious that you are reliable. This self-trust becomes the foundation of confidence. Over time, you stop doubting your ability to follow through because you have proof in your own actions. The morning becomes a sacred space where you prove to yourself that you are capable of discipline, focus, and growth. And once you trust yourself, larger goals no longer feel impossible because you know you can rely on the strength built through daily repetition. The beauty of micro-commitments is also in their flexibility. They can evolve as you evolve. What begins as 5 minutes of reflection may grow into a deeper meditation practice, or a short stretch may transform into a dedicated workout routine. The small step opens the door for greater steps, and with each one, you move closer to the life you envision. Ultimately, it is not about doing everything perfectly, but about showing up consistently. Destiny is not shaped in one defining moment. It is shaped in the daily rituals that quietly but powerfully create the person you are becoming. From reaction to creation is the essence of reclaiming control over your life, and the morning is the most powerful time to practice this shift. Most people wake up and immediately fall into a reactive state, checking messages, emails, or social media and letting external demands decide their focus. In doing so, they hand over their energy and direction to the world before they even take a breath for themselves. Living in reaction means constantly responding to circumstances, being pulled by distractions, and feeling that life is something happening to you instead of something you are shaping. But when you consciously decide to create in the morning, you step into the role of designer rather than passenger. You begin the day not by responding to the outside, but by building from the inside. Creation in the morning can take many forms: writing down your intentions, visualizing the outcomes you want, practicing affirmations, or engaging in activities that align with your values and goals. The act itself is less important than the message it carries. You are the one directing your energy. Instead of being driven by urgency, you are guided by purpose. This shift immediately changes the quality of the day. Challenges still arise, but when you have begun in creation mode, you meet them with clarity instead of panic. You respond not from impulse, but from alignment with the vision you already set. Over time, this practice transforms identity. The person who reacts constantly feels powerless, tossed around by circumstances beyond their control. The person who creates each morning feels empowered, anchored, and capable of steering life in a meaningful direction. It does not mean every outcome will be perfect, but it means you are living with intention, and intention is the seed of transformation. When the morning is used to create, you are no longer running after life, you are building it. This key is also about breaking free from autopilot. Many people live entire lives reacting without questioning if their actions truly serve them. By choosing creation each morning, you disrupt this cycle and step into conscious living.